feel about other visually impaired content creators who have quite large followings and how they kind of portray life as a visually impaired person? I don't know about you, some of them just really wind me up. And some of them, I had one fairly recently. I got on the bus to come home, sat down, found a seat that was empty, sat down, folded up my cane, and a lady across the aisle from me, "Are you blind then?"
So welcome back to part 2. Me and Lou, Impact with Lou on LinkedIn and Instagram. We are here and we're just basically talking and ranting about stuff, aren't we? We're having a lot of fun.
We are.
So much fun that we've now made a second part because we were like, this is half an hour of stuff, so let's do another one. I'm going to get straight into it. All right, so this is one that really, I don't know how to quantify it, so I'm just going to say it. But people that say, "Oh, you don't look blind."
Oh gosh, yeah.
Ah, yes.
You're too young.
What?
You can't be blind. You're too young.
Yes.
Yeah. Sight loss can affect any person at any time, at any age.
Yep. Yeah, I did. Like, there's so much to unpick.
What does blind look like?
Yeah, I don't even know how to
Don't know where to
come back
start
with
with it.
that. Like, I know it's just like whenever you say it, it's like, well, I think that's well intentioned, and you're trying to be nice, but yeah, I don't know. It's. I'd never have known you were blind if you hadn't told me. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's.
I
Yeah.
had one fairly recently. I got on the bus to come home, sat down. I found a seat that was empty, sat down, folded up my cane, and a lady across the aisle from me, "Are you blind then?" I thought, and in my head I was like, "No, I'm just using this for funsies."
Yeah.
And then it's just like, yes, I am.
Maybe, Lou. Maybe it's a metal detector.
Or it could be a metal detector.
Or a modified walking stick,
or a
perhaps.
lightsaber.
Yeah, or a lightsaber.
Could be a lightsaber. If
This
it
is
still had
true.
my glow sticks on, I could be like waving it around.
So maybe that's why she was confused. Wow.
I don't know, but you kind of have that split second in your head whether you retort with something really sarky or you are just patient and really polite.
Yeah.
Or you pretend not to have heard them.
It's tough,
It is difficult.
Yes.
And when you sat on a bus and it's like, I don't know where you're going to get off, so I might have like the next 40 minutes with you sat. I was like, I can't get up and move because it's really obvious, so I'm just going to have to go along with this.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah.
I think it's just people's misconceptions that they have around sight loss because it's not talked about. It's not taught about in schools. It's not part of the national curriculum. It's not in education. When it is portrayed in films or TV series or whatever it might be, it's always the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And very often it can be portrayed for trying to get sympathy. It's like, oh, look at this poor person. And that really annoys me because it's, we're not victims.
No.
And don't get me wrong, there will be people in the sight loss community who do feel that way, who feel, why me? This is so unfair. I don't want to be here anymore. There should be cures out there. There should be treatment. Why isn't there more being done? Why don't people help me? But then on the flip side of that, which is certainly where I am, and I know from speaking to you, Rob, that that's where you are as well, it's like that acceptance and embracing it. It's like, yep, okay, this is what I've got. It's part of me. But it doesn't have to define who I am. It's not all of who I am. It is part of me and I can adapt. And one of my mantras is that there's always a way around every situation. You might just have to go the scenic route while everyone's whizzing down the motorway.
Yeah.
But you can still get to where you need to go, whether that's physically, metaphorically. You might just have to go a different way about it.
Yep.
And it might take you longer. In fact, it probably will take you longer because everything with sight loss takes longer.
Yeah. And we don't drive down motorways.
No.
No.
I'm a passenger.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
I offer to let Lauren drive. Whenever we go on a night out, I always offer to drive home, but she never.
She never took you up on that?
Never.
Oh,
to this
that.
day, never.
No.
One day, maybe.
Yeah,
it'll
my
be
husband's
fun.
the same. It's like, do you want me to drive? And he's like, no, you're right.
No. I'd love it. I would actually love it, but no.
I think that was the one thing that really got to me when I had my diagnosis at 15, after years of toing and froing back to the eye clinic and the optician, was that I was very bluntly told, you've lost too much sight to ever be able to drive a car.
Mm.
And at the time I had a part-time Saturday job and I was saving my money for driving lessons. I was 15. And for my first car, which was going to be a classic Mini.
Oh,
and it was literally like got whipped out from underneath me.
Yeah.
And I think it's the freedom and the spontaneity that having a car gives you, that you think, oh, I've run out of milk. I'll jump in the car and go to wherever and go and pick up some milk.
Mm.
You can't do that.
No.
So now if we run out of milk, it's like, right, okay, it's going to take me 20 minutes to walk to the shop. What's the time now? And particularly in the winter time, it's like, check the app. What time does the sun start setting? Because I have no night vision.
Yeah.
Can I get there and get back before it gets dark? Is my son going to be home from school? Do I need to make sure that I'm back for that? Have I got anything else on? Is there roadworks that I know of? Am I going to have to go a different route? And it's all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
All this extra brain power you use just to simply pop to the shop and get a couple of pints of milk.
Yeah, because let's face it, walking with a cane is great, but it takes flipping ages.
It does. And I find it really draining because you're listening.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to the sounds that are around me.
Mm.
So whether that's traffic around me, whether I'm in a busy environment, I'm also listening to the sound from the cane on the different surfaces. I'm also processing the feedback, so the kind of the vibrations and stuff that you get from the cane. There is a word for it and I can't think what it is. From that, which gives you clues about what the terrain is like coming up.
Mm.
So you're processing all of that. It's no wonder we're exhausted by the time we get somewhere.
I'm always tired.
Yeah.
Tired out. Biceps
And like try and have a
killing.
conversation with somebody as you're walking along.
No.
No, you can forget it.
No.
I'll ask the questions. You just talk at me.
Yeah,
it's
you
fine.
just keep talking. I'll just pay attention to my cane.
How do you feel about other visually impaired content creators who have quite large followings and how they kind of portray life as a visually impaired person? Because I don't know about you, some of them just really wind me up. And some of them you just want to give a good slap to, and others are just like, can we like drag ourselves out from the doom and gloom and the moaning and the complaining?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me.
So,
if I'm just a woman of a certain age.
But yeah, so it's tough, right? Because as a small creator, you don't want to come across as you can't be seen to be putting anyone else down. That's trying to do good things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think there are people who I will work with, and there are people that I won't work with. Yeah, I don't want to name and shame,
No.
but there are definitely. So one of the things that I think is really tough is that I kind of look at my content as I'm doing stuff for the RP community, for blind people, for disability awareness, hopefully in general. But I hope that my content is interesting to people with disabilities, with sight and without sight.
Yes, I think that's the big difference.
So that's what I'm trying to do. Now, whether I think I'm hitting that and whether other people view my content in that way, I don't know. But I think that's where I'm heading and that's what I try and do. But I definitely think that there are blind and visually impaired creators who are making it really hard for other visually impaired creators. And there's this thing about the sort of I said it in a video about like the entitled disabled community and how that's perceived as like, if all blind and visually impaired people do is moan about how awful stuff is and how no one helps them and no one is doing anything for them, it just becomes like a real ranty kind of, oh, here we go again kind of thing. And Yeah, I think there's an element of that, but also people don't do make life difficult for us on purpose. They just don't really know.
It's the lack of awareness, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, and I think I'm trying to be as good as I can be and considerate about what I'm saying, but yeah, there are creators that are putting stuff out there that you're just like, oh man, like really,
I think
really,
those creators are creating content to reach the sighted community and to do it in a way that grabs their attention and is almost over the top
yeah,
in order to get that attention.
yeah,
For them people to think, oh, and to kind of fall in love with them as a person and to follow them. So it then becomes a game of vanity metrics almost, rather than it being a positive spin on, okay, so I've got this following, let's use it to my advantage to help improve the experience for the global visually impaired community.
yeah,
I think there's kind of, they're coming from it from a completely different perspective.
yeah,
And it's then almost like an entertainment platform. They think they have to entertain, whereas actually what you're doing is helping the visually impaired community.
yeah,
Cause somebody could stumble across you, search for you. I think, wow, do you know what? If Rob can do that, why can't I? And it seems much more real,
yeah.
down to earth, and much more attainable.
So I feel like I'm confessing to you now, but yes, I agree with that. But on the flip side, I have also said, like Molly Burke, who I really like, she did a skydive and it got like 5 million views or something. And I was like, if I could do a video of me skydiving and get 5 million views, I would totally do it. Even though I would be petrified, I would do it. And even worse than that is that I was in a taxi coming here today. Taxi driver called Rory said, have you thought about doing like naked videos to get views? And I was like, you know what? Actually, if the subscribers want it, if I was going to get paid for doing it, maybe I'd think about it.
Oh, you
It's
cut
tough.
me out of that one. Absolutely not. No, draw the line at that.
Yeah, but it's tough though, isn't it? Because I think if you're chasing, so my channel, for example, I would love to go viral and make a living off of it, but I don't. It's small and it's growing consistently, and I like that. And my journey is about helping people. So, and yeah, it's a small channel. So am I jealous of people that have got 100,000 subscribers? Yeah, absolutely. That's what I would like to be at millions, whatever. I'd like to make money from it. But I think that isn't what drives my channel, and I think that's the difference. If you're in a position where you make money from it, you literally do what, I'm going to steamroller a car and get, whatever, or I'm going to give away 50 grand, those kind of viral videos. And I think some, visually impaired and blind people are in a position where they can make money and they can get sponsorship deals and they can work with big brands and do stuff. But yeah, it irritates me when people kind of play the part. It's like, come on, really? Okay, so we ranted about people that have got big followings that I would like. I would like to be one of those people, but it's all good.
It'll come.
It will. I believe it will, definitely. And if not, I'm just get naked and naked skydive. That would do it. Yeah, naked mankini skydive, perhaps. That would be cool.
I'm not joining you on that one.
No, no one is. So I know that you wanted to talk a little bit about some myths and misconceptions. We've kind of touched on some, so I'm going to say, what one haven't we covered that you'd really like to have a little rant?
It would be about the cane, the white cane. I know you've talked about it before, the adapted mobility aid.
Yes.
Or the metal detector.
Yes.
Or a trundle wheel.
Yes.
So much about perceptions and misconceptions comes down to education or lack of education about what these things are that we carry in our hand and we use. And you've got the symbol cane, you've got the guide cane, you've got the long cane, you've got the walking stick for those that are less able, less mobile, which also can be a white cane as well. But it's just people's thoughts around them. So when I used to take my son to school, do the school run, and when I started using a cane, I can remember there was a toddler with a parent following me out of the playground. And the child said, "Mummy, why has that lady got a white stick?" And her response was, "Oh, it's telling her where to go." And it's just like, oh, it's not a sat nav.
No, I mean it sort of does.
It can't, but it's only as good as the person who's in control of it.
This is true. Yeah, it's not an actual sat nav.
No,
because that would be quite cool.
it would.
It would be very good. But yeah, it's tough because I'm 6'4", and I actually felt quite ridiculous when I held a cymbal cane because people would
like
sort
a
of
matchstick.
but people would see you holding it, and it's like, no, you could see the sort of like.
You could almost hear the cogs turning.
Not really sure what that means.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, the long cane for me, it tells people it tells people that I'm blind, and obviously we know. So another one is we know blindness is a spectrum, and that's something else that it's like they see the long cane with the ball on it and think actually, yeah, this person's blind. So I get people kind of treat me like I can see. I can see down the centre. I can't see well, but I'm not completely, completely blind. I'm not at that point yet. But that's what that cane does. Whereas the cymbal cane, I don't really know what it doesn't symbolise much. People don't know what it's meant to symbolise.
And I think because it's small, it can be easily missed.
Yeah.
And also, I had cymbal cane training, but there are lots of people that don't have that training. And particularly when I was younger, I can remember Mum saying to me, "Oh gosh, that person's not had training because they're holding it out like in front of them like a sword." It's like, they're going to impale somebody. That's not safe. So it's not literally something that you can. Yes, you can go online and buy it, but particularly for a long cane, you need to be measured for it.
Yeah.
You need to make sure it's the right height for you, and it matches your stride pattern, and it's the right weight for you, and the ball or the tip on it is correct for you, because some people prefer a rollable, some people have a marshmallow tip, and it all gives you different feedback. And it's something very personal, but you do have to have training to use it. It's almost like having a driving licence. I had 2 weeks worth of training before my instructor would allow me to keep it and to then use it independently, because she was satisfied that I was using it safely, both for me and for other people around me. But again, unless you're in those shoes, this isn't information that people readily know and understand.
No. But
so therefore it's where the assumptions come in.
But that's it. But going back to your first point of like, normal public don't really understand it, but actually I don't really understand it. Or I didn't understand it myself until I started long cane training. So it's really tricky. So I don't know. Hopefully everyone in the world will watch this video and be like, "Oh well, that's what it's for." But something random it just triggered. The thing that I love the most about my cane, and I've got the big ball on it at the moment, is that when we're walking, Lauren absolutely loves it, because she's like, "Oh my God, we walked past that dog and that dog thought it." Dogs are absolutely fascinated by it, aren't they?
They think it's a ball that they can chase.
And she says Lauren absolutely loves it, because she's like, literally, that dog is like, "I don't know whether I should go for that or not." And they don't go for it, but they just watch you walk past it. And I did half think about getting my ball coloured like a tennis ball, just for a bit of fun. Because when we got our puppy, the puppy loves picking. So I'd be walking with it, and the next thing I know, it's like, "What? That's a bit weird." And he's actually lifting it up to try and pull it off.
Oh, wow.
That's one thing I absolutely love. So yeah, my long cane tells people that I'm blind, and I get a lot more help with that. But yeah, just the fact that the dogs are like, "What is that?" Like, we absolutely love that. So
My son loves it if I walk through puddles because it sounds completely different, and he
Yeah.
loves the sound of it going
Yep.
through puddles.
Yep.
So he's very good. He will tell me if there's a puddle coming up and kind of go to the left or go to the right to avoid it. But he's like, but I also want you to walk through it as well. So you can hear the sound in the water.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm jealous of your cane. I've got a no jab cane coming, but I love yours has got a suspension on it so you don't get the jab.
Yeah,
because the jab is not
game
good.
changer.
That's one thing I hate, actually. Crazy paving or paving slabs, drains, because you just merrily walk along with your cane, bosh, that's it, jabbed in the stomach.
Impaled on it. It's so painful.
It must look hilarious. Like, the thing is, it must look hilarious for people driving past to be like, whoop, you know?
Yeah, you kind of almost double up over it, depending on how fast you walk.
It impels you, doesn't it? Yeah, it
does.
Absolutely does.
Have you named your cane, though?
Yes, both of mine.
What are they called?
Well, all three. So my symbol cane is Harry Cane. Sir Michael is my long cane. And then the cane that's coming from Canada is Kanye West.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, that wasn't my suggestion. That was Rich. I ran a competition to name them, and I got two names in it. Sir Michael that was like an outright winner. But that one just tickled me so much. I was like, that's got to be it. So
yeah, mine is Michael Caine.
Yeah,
as well. Don't mess with
you see, no. Well, I know Claire's is Rick the Stick, which is quite cool. He's quite Rick the Stick, and Sir Michael met at the O2, and it was quite a moment when the two canes met. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so we've had a good conversation about how long my cane is off camera. So now we've got that out of our systems. I think we're gonna do, to wrap up. Let's have a quick fire round of stuff that just, well, it frustrates me and you as a blind person. So, Christmas cards.
Mm-hmm. When people know that you, not just Christmas cards, even birthday cards, when people send them to you and they know that you've got sight loss. It could be a family member, it could be somebody that you see on a regular basis, a friend or somebody from school or whatever it might be, and you get a Christmas card or a birthday card from them, and they've written in blue biro in normal joined up handwriting. Now I can't decipher that even with a magnifying glass.
No.
I try seeing AI and that can't decipher it either.
No.
So I just have to hand everything over to somebody with working eyes in my household. Like, can you read this to me?
Yeah.
So I've got a very good friend, and she has a special pen just for me that she uses when she does cards for me.
Nice.
So that I can read it. And my mum does as well. And my kids and my husband will use a Sharpie pen and write bigger for me.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So write bigger.
Write bigger.
Write bigger.
Have a black felt tip pen.
Yeah.
And just write bigger.
And don't buy red cards.
And no,
or
don't
envelopes.
avoid cards with red areas that you write on, red envelopes, anything like that. It's so hard. It's literally like there's nothing there at all.
Yep. Yeah. What else? A quick one.
Buying cards.
Yeah, I've bought the wrong cards.
You go into a card shop and it's just a sea of cards, and it's like, where do I even start?
Yeah.
I was telling you that I've got a box at home where I keep, like, you have those cards, don't you? Just handy for any occasion. Yep. I've got 3 in there which says "Hello, baby boy."
Nice.
And when I bought them, I thought it said "Happy birthday."
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, not good.
I did that for something. I'm always crossing words out on cards I buy for people, and people find it funny. I find it funny. It's hilarious, but
maybe
I swear it said
just,
that.
Put some stickers over it.
Basically, you just own up to whatever you've done, and
I
just
bought the wrong card.
Yeah, wrong card, but it's hilarious.
It is, but then you kind of go through all of the emotions. So you find it funny, but then you get really cross and frustrated with yourself that you did it. Then you get angry. Then you feel really stupid. Then you cry.
No, do you? You don't.
I do.
No.
Less now than I used to, but I just delegate card buying now to somebody else.
Yeah, I just laugh. I just pull the cane out and say, look, we're talking about you pulling my cane out, but I pull that card and say, look, what do you expect? Yeah, I'm done with Christmas. I don't send Christmas cards now for that reason. They're
No.
just too tricky. Or Lauren helps me. Yeah.
So with central vision loss, I can't see anything that I write anymore.
No.
So I'm literally writing it on the paper, but I'm visualising it in my head.
Mm.
And I think I've written it in a lovely straight line.
Oh, yeah.
And then you kind of look at it again and it's like, oh, okay, so I started here and now I've finished 2 inches higher at the other side.
Yeah. So I purposely try and write it at an angle so that it looks less, less obvious.
Maybe
but
I need to try that then.
yeah, I did. Yeah. Typing, just send emails.
Yeah,
emails
maybe
are
I
so
need
much
to be
easier.
less stubborn and actually get the writing frame out of my drawer.
Yeah, this is
and
true.
use
Ruler,
that.
get the ruler out, draw lines like when we're kids. Like, yeah. Right, last point, quick one, go. Don't overthink, go.
Packaging.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
packaging. Trying to cook a meal for your family.
Yeah,
and
no,
something
don't.
comes in a package.
Yeah, no. Nightmare.
I cook from scratch a lot, but unfortunately my boys prefer beige and boring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which come with cooking
And
instructions.
you can't see it at all.
And
can
it's
you?
tiny.
Yep.
And even to the point where it almost pixelates
Yep.
because of how it's been printed on the packaging. I can't read it with a magnifying glass.
No.
Again, my Seeing AI app, it doesn't pick it up. So I have to hope that somebody else is in the house. Like, can I borrow somebody's eyes, please? Somebody's eyes. Come and help.
Well, do you know on the back of that, self-service checkouts?
Oh, yes.
So, because there are shops now that have no staff, so you
Yes.
literally sit there going, come on, I'm a big boy, I can figure this out. Oh,
No.
What? No, man.
You're fine if it... Well, I'm fine if there's a barcode.
Yep.
But if, say, for instance, I've picked up a banana and I'm just like, oh, and I'm like waving it and I'm like, oh, there's no barcode
There's
on
no
this.
barcode on this
So
banana.
I've now got to weigh it and then I've got to
Yeah.
press buttons on the screen.
Yeah, no.
So I end up just leaving it.
Yeah, no.
It's like, yeah, it's not happening today.
Leave your banana. Or take it for free. So
Yeah, or
I think
just-
it's free, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I don't have a...
Or I've stood there long enough in front of this till with my cane and I think there's a member of staff, there must be a member of staff somewhere floating around. Have they come to help me? No, they haven't.
No.
Well, I'm sorry, you've
It's not
lost
on.
however much a banana costs.
Yeah, yeah. And what we've done so beautifully is brought banana
Back to
back
the slippery
to
floor sign.
slippery floor
Yeah.
size. What? Yeah. I mean, that's just too good not to wrap up there, isn't it? Yeah, that's cool. Luke, thank you so much. We could rant all day. So there's definitely going to be more coming up soon. If you've been affected by any of our content over these part 1 and part 2, drop us a comment, let me know, let Lou know. Go check her out, LinkedIn, Instagram. I will post it all down there, so go check it out. And yeah, I hope you had a bit of a laugh with us today.
I did. It's
we've
been
had
great.
fun. Yeah, we've been great fun.
We should have a stand-up show.
We should. Yeah, this is it. This is coming. I can tell this is coming. Naked podcasts. There we go.
No. No. Clothes will be on this side of the table, thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm not wearing clothes on this side of the table, so it's
Okay,
all
I'll
good.
take your word for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lou, you take care, all right? I'll speak to you soon.
Will do. Thanks, Rob.
See ya.